Good morning, everyone. So, I welcome you once again in my next class, that is organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. Organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. So, in this class, we will see the concept of organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. So, what is the somatic embryogenesis? How organogenesis is important, is taken care about the fact. So, organogenesis basically refers to the series of organized integrated process. Organogenesis defined as a series of organized integrated process which transform an amorphous mass of cells into a complete organ. Or in simple language, we can say organogenesis refers to the transformation of amorphous mass. Amorphous mass means undifferentiated cell mass, that is callus, into the complete organ in a developing embryo. While the somatic embryogenesis refers to an artificial process in which the plants or embryo that is derived from a single somatic cells. Somatic embryogenesis means the mass of embryo, somatic embryo. Plants or embryo is derived from a single somatic cell. Thus, this is the fundamental difference between organogenesis. Fundamental difference between organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. If you see the major difference between organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis is that organogenesis is the process which generate plant organ, which generate the different plant organ, which may include shoot, root from the vegetative tissue. While the somatic embryogenesis is the process which generate embryonic callus from the vegetative tissue, which generate the embryonic callus. If we talk about the organogenesis, it is a natural process. It can also be induced artificially. Somatic embryogenesis is also an artificial process that occur under laboratory conditions. So there is another difference between these two. Hormonal signal is another difference between organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. Organogenesis proceed through the two hormone signals to induce the shoot and then root separately, while somatic embryogenesis proceed through a single hormone signal. So, organogenesis is nothing but it's a process of developing an individual organ from the vegetative tissue in the plant. It is responsible for the formation of a complete plantlet with the shoot and root. In comparison to this, somatic embryogenesis is the process which develops the somatic embryo from the vegetative tissue. So there are different types of plant growth regulators which are involved in the both processes. However, the main difference between organism and somatic embryogenesis is the resultant into the plant structures. Resultant into the plant structure. So that's why we need to discuss about somatic embryogenesis. So in this class, we are going to deal with the content, introduction about the organism, what is the organogenesis, factor affecting organogenesis, advantages of organogenesis, application of organogenesis, somatic hybridization technique through mechanical enzymatic manipulations, isolation of protoplast, advantage of somatic hybridizations, limitation of hybridizations, somatic hybridizations. Organogenesis is a process of differentiation by which plant organ or root, shoot, bud, flower, extraction, etc. are formed, while advantageous refers to the development of organ or embryo from the unusual point of origin of organized experiment, where a preformed meristem is lacking. Preformed meristem is lacking. This process is than the somatic, much more common than the somatic embryogenesis, and has far more potential for mass clonal, and far more potential than the mass cloning of it, clonal propagation of the plant. So there are various factors which affect this organogenesis. So this organogenesis is nothing but it's a phase of embryonic development. It's a phase of embryonic development that start at the end of gastrulations and continue till until the birth. If we talk about the cells of each germ layer will control the differentiation process where less specialized cells become more specialized through the expression of a specific set of the gene. So each regulated through the cell differentiations is driven by the cell signal cascades. Okay. So in case of plant, organogenesis occur continuously and only stop when the plants get die. In the shoot apical meristem regularly producing new lateral organs like leaves of flower, and lateral branches. In the root, new lateral roots form from the weakly differentiated internal tissue, like xylem, pericycle, and modern Arabidopsis. In vitro, in response to specific cocktails of the hormone, mainly auxin and cytokinin, which play most significant role in plant tissue, can de-differentiate and form a mass of dividing pluripotent stem cells, called a callus. Organogenesis can then occur from those cells. The type of organ that is formed depends on the relative concentration of the hormone in the medium. Plant organogenesis can induce in tissue culture and used to regenerate the plant. Used to regenerate the plant. So the factor which affecting organogenesis, physical factor and chemical factor. Now if we talk about the physical factors, this covers the intensity of the light, temperature, electric stimulations, intensity of light, the blue region of the spectrum which promote the shoot formation, and red light which induce the rooting. Red light induce the rooting. The treatment of blue light followed by the treatment of red light also stimulate the organogenesis phenomenon. Temperature, which increase in temperature up to 33 degrees centigrade, may be associated with rise in the growth of tobacco. Callus. But for shoot bud differentiation, a lower temperature, 18 degrees centigrade, may be optimal. Electric stimulations. Bagga et al. 1985. They suggested that a role of phytochrome in the shoot induction. Now next is chemical factor. Cytokinin or auxin. Cytokinin in the medium leads to the promotion of bud differentiation and development. Kinetin is 30,000 times more potent than the adenine. Phosphate increase the level of phosphate in the medium that is reported to counter inhibitory effect of the auxin. Casein hydrolysate. Casein hydrolysate or tyrosine also induce the kinetin type bud formation even in presence of higher level of IAA in the medium. So you can see here organogenesis can go through the shoot formation, root formations. Then this shoot formation go for the rooting, root formation go for shooting. Then it regenerate the complete plant. So through organogenesis, first we develop a particular organ, then the through organ, the rest of the plant is completely regenerated by changing the media composition or as per requirement of the our objective. Now advantage of organogenesis. Organogenesis is cheap, somewhat cheaper, fast process so that we can quickly regenerate the plant. There is no variables, no somatoform variants can generate. Required less space, easily scalable. Application is scale up easily. We can scale up easily the protocols or can produce multiple plants or multiple copies of particular organs can easily induce in that. Variation is not produced in that. Somatoform variation is not produced with organogenesis. This is used as the bioreactor. Can use as the bioreactor. Protoplast culture. This is used as protoplast culture. Gene transfer. So different. If we talk about the stages of organogenesis, stages of organogenesis. Now organogenesis, you know very well that uh, if we talk about the stages of organogenesis, organogenesis, the main objective behind organogenesis is the to develop a particular organ like root or shoot. Okay. root and shoot. Or we can go for the differentiation of a particular mature cell into a particular organ. So it is known as redifferentiation. 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 So afterwards, this organogenesis scale up, which is responsible for the induction of adventitious root, shoot, and other organ in the culture tissue. That is very important in plant tissue culture. Okay. So this organogenesis differentiation is an outcome of the process of de-differentiation, which is followed by the re-differentiation of the cells. In case of organogenesis, organogenesis, the differentiation of is the outcome of a process of de-differentiation followed by the re-differentiation. De-differentiation favors the unorganized cell growth that is known as callus. Okay, de-differentiation favors the unorganized cell growth. Callus has meristem. Most of these meristem, if provide appropriate in vitro conditions, would re-differentiate into the shoot, bud, and root. Whole plant regenerate by organogenesis is a monopolar structure. It develops procandial strand which establishes a connection with the pre-existing vascular tissue dispersed within the callus of culture. The organogenesis process is much more common than the somatic embryogenesis and far more potent than the mass clonal propagations. Now, plant production through organs can be achieved by two different methods: organogenesis through callus formation or emergence of adventitious organ directly from the explant. If we talk about the indirect method of through the callus formations, plant regenerate from culture explant, which involve the initiation of vessel callus, then shoot bud formation. The establishment of callus growth with subsequent organogenesis has been obtained from many species of the plant. Plant regeneration from the explant for both mature and immature organs can be induced to form the callus, and then plant get regenerated. However, explant with mitotically active cells are generally good for the callus inductions. Presence of vascular tissue in explant is favorable for the callus growth, and the size and shape of explant is also crucial. Size and shape of explant. The increased cell number, which present in bigger explant, increase the probability of obtaining a viable culture. It has been seen that only small percentage of the cell in a given explant contribute to the formation of callus. The site of initiation of callus initiation peripheral. Then callus is produced on the explant in vitro as a result of wounding in response to hormone, either endogenous or exogenous supplied in the medium. The meristematic tissue or organ like shoot, tip, lateral, bud, inflorescence, rachis, leaf, petiole, root should be selected in the preference to other tissue because of their clonal properties. The culture survival, growth rate, and totipotency in vitro. Meristem, shoot tip, axillary bud, immature leaf, and immature embryo in cereals are particularly suited as a good explant. The explant like mature leaf, root, stem, petioles, and flower part from the herbaceous species can often be successfully cultured. Second method is direct organogenesis. Somatic tissue of certain plants, higher plants, are capable of regenerating adventitious plants. Induction of adventitious shoot directly on the root, leaves, bulb, or other organ of intact plant is a common method of propagation. In culture, this method is particularly suitable to herbaceous species. In begonia, buds normally originate along the leaf, but in a medium which contains the BAP, the bud formation from the cut end of the leaf is so profused that the entire surface of the cutting had become covered with the shoot bud. Promotion of the bud formations by cytokinin occur in the several plant species. However, the requirement for exogenous cytokinin in the process varies with the tissue system, apparently depending upon the endogenous level of the hormone in the tissue. These observations led to concept of totipotency. Totipotency means the capacity of cells to regenerate into the complete plant after differentiation within the somatic tissue. Every cell in the plant is derived from the original zygote through the mitotic divisions and should contain the complete genome. Thus, the formation of adventitious tissue depend on the reactivation of the gene concerned with the embryonic blood. Now, there are certain factors which are affecting the organogenesis. We already discussed about that. Next is somatic embryogenesis. Somatic embryogenesis is a process by which somatic cells or tissue, somatic cell or tissue, including haploid cells, develop into a differentiated embryo, and they regenerate the plant. Somatic embryogenesis is a process by which somatic cells or tissue, they may include haploid cells, which develop into differentiated embryo and to regenerate the plant. Stewart et al. 1958, the first induced embryo through suspension culture in Canada. Stewart. Stewart in 1958, they first induced the embryo through suspension culture. They first induced the embryo through suspension culture in carrot. Next is Rennert. Rennert in 1959, they produced the embryo from callus in carrot through suspension culture. Carrot through the suspension culture. So these are the two scientists who start work on somatic embryogenesis. Somatic embryogenesis is the process by which somatic cells or tissue include the haploid cells develop into differentiated embryo to regenerate the plant root. Stewart et al. 1958 first induced embryo through suspension culture in the carrot. Rennert produced embryo from callus in carrot through suspension culture. Importance of somatic embryogenesis. If we talk about the importance of somatic embryogenesis, high propagation rate, suitable in suspension culture, artificial seed production, labor saving. Labor saving. Now, stages of somatic embryogenesis. What are the different stages of somatic embryogenesis? Now, again, if we look somatic embryogenesis, which is an artificial process, in which a plant or embryo is derived from a single somatic cells, in which embryo is derived from the uh, single somatic cells, single somatic cells. Then somatic embryo are formed from the plant cells that are not normally involved in the development of embryo. In order to ordinary plant tissue, there is no endosperm or seed coat is formed around the somatic embryo. Cells which are derived from the competent source, tissue culture to form the undifferentiated, to form the undifferentiated. undifferentiated. Then process of somatic embryogenesis involves the four key steps, which are induction, maintenance, development, and regeneration. Induction, maintenance, development, and regeneration. However, there are two ways of inducing somatic embryogenesis, which include direct, direct somatic embryogenesis and indirect somatic embryogenesis. In case of direct somatic embryogenesis, means directly embryo is regenerated on the explant. And in case of indirect somatic embryogenesis, the explant first regenerate into the callus, then callus will reach to the somatic embryo. So the providing in particular nutrition, changing the nutrient composition. Right? Okay, so the process of embryogenesis can easily monitored by the somatic embryogenesis can be induced by two different ways. Except at al PDC means that is pre-induced embryogenic determinant and induced embryogenic determinant cells. So there are some different four phases of recognized during the somatic embryogenesis. So that is labeled at 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So during the developmental processes of somatic embryogenesis, the first phase 0 is cell become competent in presence of oxygen. Cell become competent in presence of oxygen. So in presence of oxygen, cell become competent means they able to regenerate the somatic embryo. Now, competent cells have ability to develop somatic embryo. The competent cells have ability to develop somatic embryo when oxygen is get removed from the medium. Once see the main function of oxygen, if we are providing to the cells become competent. Okay, cells become competent in presence of oxygen. Once cell become competent, oxygen has to remove. Now the cells will develop into the somatic embryo. So this lead to the rapid cell division. This lead to rapid cell division which occur in the cell clusters, leading to the formation of globular states. So rapid cell division occur in cell clusters, leading to the formation of globular stages. Somatic embryo. Later on, the plantlet to develop from the globular embryo by heart, cotyledonary, torpedo-shaped somatic embryo. Okay, so if we see the stages of somatic embryo, so at the initial, when oxygen is added into the medium, that time the cells become competent. Cells become competent for the division. As when oxygen get removed, cells start to get divide, and they start to divide from the globular stage. Means they continuously divide from the globular shape of the structure of the somatic embryo. The degenerate somatic embryo from the globular stage. Then later on, if we are providing further nutrition, then further somatic embryo will get developed from globular to heart shape, then cotyledonary shape, then torpedo shape. So the cotyledonary torpedo shape is the mature stage of the somatic embryo. Cotyledonary torpedo is the mature stage. You can say. Globular heart shape is the immature stage of the immature. If we see the induction of somatic embryo, how we can induce this somatic embryogenesis. So if we talk about the induction medium for this is we can use 0.8% of agar that is solidified, full strength of MS medium, then leading to 45% super. Then development, okay, that is the induced one for competent. As oxygen 240 is added, the oxygen has to remove from the during the development activity. In that case, 0.8% agrosolids that remain as such with full free MS media containing 5% super. Now later on, development of somatic embryo is taking place by the younger stage of somatic embryo, which proceed toward the mature stage of development in a 4 to 7 week old culture. The somatic embryo at different stages of development could be same explant. Okay, it could be same explant. And further, maturation is the key phases between the embryo development and germination. During maturation, several stages protein synthesis, which is necessary for the germination of somatic embryo. The germination of somatic embryo plantlet development is taking place in presence of germination media that have 0.8% agar solidified medium with a 3% sucrose. The 3% sucrose. So you can see here the somatic cells, individual somatic cells, when placed into the artificial culture media containing oxygen. Oxygen start to make this competent, cells competent for the division. Then later on the cell become divided. The oxygen has to remove, so start to get divided. The tip. Okay. It's two cell proper stage, quadratic stage, because octet stage, then later stage, early globular stage. Each cell keeps on dividing to become early globular stage. The cytokinin mid globular, then transitional stage, that is heart stage, torpedo stage. Now, if we talk about the type of somatic embryogenesis, there's two types of somatic embryogenesis: direct somatic embryogenesis and indirect somatic embryogenesis. Direct and indirect somatic embryogenesis. Direct somatic embryogenesis, embryo initially directly from the explant in absence of telescoping. Embryo are formed due to pre-early determined cells. Pre-early determined embryo determined cell. Indirect somatic embryogenesis, callus from explants takes place from which embryos are done. Embryos formed due to the induced early determined cells. Induced embryo determined cells. Direct somatic embryogenesis and direct somatic. The somatic embryogenesis is monocot and dicot. Okay, so monocot, the radical protected by the polyrhiza and plumula colloquial into monocot, while colloquial and polyrhiza absent in case of dicot. Cambial tissue are absent. Cambial tissue are absent, completely absent in the Monopod or cambial tissue are present. Secondary growth are absent. Secondary growth are present. Easy to culture in case of monopod but difficult to culture. Somatic embryogenesis is an efficient plant regeneration system under in vitro. It is a potentially useful tool for genetic transformation. Cross-linking between hormone and transcription factors is likely to play important role in somatic embryogenesis. But the mechanism of plant embryogenesis is unclear about comprehensive work of future and necessary to study with the interaction of various factors and temperature of protein. Okay. So this direct and indirect somatic embryogenesis has been taken into the considerations. Now, if we talk about the factor which affect somatic embryogenesis, explant, PEDC and IEDC, physiological age of the explant, genotype of the explant, species, culture medium, explant age, PGR plant growth regulators, sucrose concentrations in the medium, and acclimatization of regenerated plant and field transport. If we talk about applications, large scale of in vitro conservation, in vitro selection, genetic transfer that we already will discuss about it. So this some example of if we talk about some example of somatic embryogenesis. So plant regeneration by somatic embryogenesis occurring in five different stages. Initiation of embryonic culture, proliferation of embryonic culture, prematuration of embryonic cultures, maturation of somatic embryo, plant development on specific media. So the first study of somatic embryogenesis was reported in 1958 in the Canberra Deepest So there are some other plants that has been studied for the material given. Ranunculus in Ranunculus scleratus, floral tissue are used for the embryogenesis. The medium used to induce the process to 10% coconut milk, 10% coconut milk. With or without indole acetic acids, IAA, it takes 3 weeks for the embryonic development. In Lower pinus, Pinus terra, polyurinary tissue is induced for the development of milk. The media in this case is used with 2.6 milligram per liter acetic acid. Cold storage used to improve the competence. To induce the somatic embryogenesis in Japanese larch, Larix campbelli, the immature zygotic embryo or culture, the callus is collected for the formation of somatic. The collected calli are cultured on half-strength chlorine and lipovium media containing 90 millimolar of sucrose. Somatic embryogenesis is then later on induced in the explant of the leaf and shoot apex of the Eucalyptus globulus using media containing 40 micromolar of picrogram. Formation of somatic embryo in the East India sandalwood tree is induced by using modern explant and culture media. There are several studies like this are present, which is nowadays has been somatic embryo has been done in different tree plant tree species, which demonstrated the successful of somatic embryogenesis tissue cultures. So already we have been discussed about the applications. It is a preferred in vitro propagation method for the woody plant, where it plays critical role in chronic propagations, synthetic seed productions, germ plant conservation, and cryopreservations. It is used for the rapid, large-scale propagation of the plant for the production of secondary compounds and drugs. It is an ideal system of basis study of plant cell biology and embryo development. It also provides a better system of understanding of differentiation mechanism of pluripotency expression. Pluripotency expression. So next is somatic hybridization. Somatic hybridization is the development of hybrid plants through fusion of somatic protoplast to different plants. It is called as somatic hybridization. Development of some hybrid plants through fusion of somatic protoplast of two different plants. This is varieties called as somatic hybridization. Now, if we talk about the technique of somatic hybridization techniques, isolation of the protoplast, and fusion of the protoplast of the plant species, identification and selection of the somatic hybrid, and culture of hybrid cells, and regeneration of hybrid. Somatic hybridization is a technique through which we can hybrid production is taking place through the fusion of isolated somatic protoplast. Fusion of somatic protoplast under in vitro condition and subsequently development of their product like heterokaryote to a hybrid plant that is known as somatic hybridization. In somatic hybridization, the nucleus and cytoplasm of both the parents are fused in the hybrid cells. They get fused in the hybrid cells. Sometimes nuclear genome of only one parent but cytoplasmic genoplasm from both the parents are present in fused output, which is known as hybrid or cytoplasmic hybrid, which is known as hybrid or cytoplasmic hybrid. In case of somatic hybrid, what happens? Nucleus from both the parents and cytoplasm and nucleus are coming from both the parents. Okay, they are coming and fused in the hybrid cells. But sometimes the nucleus of one species get eliminated because of incompatibility, and at that time, nucleus is descending from the one parent only, and cytoplasm is descended from both the parents. Okay, so cytoplasmic genes are coming from both the parents. That is present in the fused hybrid. That is present fused hybrid, which is known as hybrid or cytoplasmic hybrid, which is known as cytoplasmic hybrid. Now we talk about the somatic. In case of this somatic hybridization, when we fuse two different plant species, when we fuse different plant species, at that time you will see that because of fusion, you will get two different class of the hybrids. That is symmetric hybrid, symmetric hybrid, and asymmetric hybrid. And these symmetric and asymmetric hybrid, symmetric hybrids, we have to identify those significant during the somatic hybridization by the nuclear cytoplasmic fusion, which leads to the three distinct procedure: symmetric hybridization, symmetric hybridization, asymmetric hybridization. So this symmetric hybridization and asymmetric hybridizations. Symmetric means which from symmetric having hybrid which contain both the uh, both the genome from both the genome from both the parents. So symmetric hybrid means fusion of all nucleus, complete nucleus from both the parents. Fusion of both the parents from the complete nucleus. But in case of asymmetric hybrid, the fusion of parental nuclei, one or both deficient for one or more chromosome, which are deficient for one and both deficient for the one or more chromosome. That is asymmetric hybrid. Means in, ca- in case of symmetric hybrids, means nucleus is fused from both the parents along with all sets of the chromosomes. But in case of asymmetric hybrid, fusion of one or both the parents with loss of one or more chromosome sets. Okay, one or more chromosomes with deficient chromosome. And third hybrid is hybrid. The fusion without a nuclear contribution by one parent means extremely asymmetric hybrid. Extremely asymmetric. Hybrid are nothing but these are the asymmetric hybrids. Somatic hybridizations in case of citrus, we can take example of citrus. In case of citrus, that is the act as a powerful tool for production of novel allotetraploids, somatic genotype that combine desirable characteristics for these two. Now, these hybrids open a new opportunity. They open a new opportunity for successful hybridization at the tetraploid level. And for interploid process, the production of potentially seedless triploids, among other reasons. Somatic symmetric hybrids have a great potential for rootstocks, improvement, and are excellent as a breeding parent. But they may have limited direct application as shown previously because they typically contain the entire genome of both fusion parents and are likely to exhibit the desirable and undesirable traits of both the parents. Asymmetric hybridization is very promising as it allows partial genome transfer and may be better tolerated than a whole genome transfer. better tolerable at genome transfer. So the somatic hybridizations by protoplast fusion, on the other hand, has the powerful to in genetic improvements. So if we talk about the symmetric somatic hybridization, the first symmetric somatic hybrid of citrus was created by the protoplast fusion of Citrus sinensis and Phonecerus trifolia. The production of hybrid plants between two sexually incompatible species was first reported where the Citrus sinensis Hamlin protoplast was fused with the Severin neodystid. Then they produce the symmetric hybrid. The most important application of somatic hybridization is building of a novel gel plant as a source of elite breeding parents to enter process. Okay. So there are another technique for citrus and somatic hybridization developed to improve the series of horticultural traits. Then later on, new example, there are certain examples been developed for this symmetric hybrids. Next is asymmetric somatic hybridization. When genes that determine the tolerance to a specific biotic or abiotic stresses are predominantly carried out in one or few chromosomes. A more productive approach may be asymmetric fusion, or called as gamma fusion or donor-recipient fusion. This approach has recently been used in different citrus as well as different crops. Asymmetric hybridization leads to the addition of a fraction of alien genome to a receptor genome. In some cases, reduced contribution from one parent allow creation of individual that is free of undesirable genetic effects, sometimes associated with the allopolyploidy, and may be better tolerated with a whole genome transfer. With a whole genome transfer. If we talk about in general, the frequency of chromosome elimination is subjected to the parental genomic chromosomal and genetic effect. So the asymmetric hybrids may arise from spontaneous chromosome eliminations in some distant combinations, but special treatment can be applied to increase this amount of genome elimination. There may be X-ray or gamma ray radiations which induce the chromosomal fragmentations prior to fusion with receptor cells. Ionizing radiations can cause fragmentations of DNA which induce both single and double DNA strand repair. Asymmetric hybrids have been produced in various species like Medicago sativa, Nicotiana tovecum, Lycopus esculentum, Solanum between Arabidopsis thaliana, Brassica napus. Okay. So the regeneration of asymmetric hybrid in the citrus was published. So asymmetric hybrid from Densi tangerine and Peg tangelo by using the X-ray. By using the X-ray. Another type of somatic hybridization which is capable of generating diversity is a technique that is called as microprotoplast. Microprotoplast mediated chromosome transfer. Macroprotoplast mediated chromosome transfer (MMCT), which is a well-based macrocells mediated chromosome transfer technique developed for the mammalian cells, in which micronucleation is induced. Micronucleation is induced by the different chromosomes eliminations. The next is hybrid. So after some protoplast fusion, if the nucleus from one parent is lost and cytoplasm from both parents get combined, a new type of symmetric hybrid is produced that is known as hybrid. That is known as hybrid. Somatic hybridization involves the following aspect: fusion of the protoplast, then selection of hybrid cell, then identification of hybrid plant. Then protoplast fusion. It involves mixing of two different genomes, can be achieved by spontaneous and induced fusion. Spontaneous fusion, cell fusion is natural process observed in case of egg fertilizations. During the course of enzymatic degradation of the cell wall, adjoining protoplast may fuse to form the homokaryon. These fused cells may sometimes contain a high number of the nuclei, maybe 2 to 40. The frequency of homokaryons formation was found to high in protoplast isolated from the dividing cell culture. Then induced fusion method. So isolated protoplast can be fused by induction. Isolated protoplast can be fused by the induction. There are several fusion-inducing agents which are collectively referred as fusosomes. Lysozyme, concavalin, electrofusion, dextran sulfide, fatty acid esters, etc. Then advantage of somatic hybridizations. Production of novel interspecific intergeneric hybrid like tomato, hybrid of potato and tomato. Production of fertile diploid and polyploid from the sexually sterile diploids and euploids. The transfer of the gene for disease resistance, abiotic stress resistance, herbicide resistance, and many other quality characters. Then limitations of somatic hybridization. There are a large number of limitations. Poor regeneration of hybrid plants, non-viability of fused product, not successful in all plants. Somatic hybridization is successful in all plants. Production of unfavorable hybrids. Lack of an efficient selection of hybrids. There is no confirmation of expression of particular trait in somatic hybrid. No confirmation of expression of particular trait in somatic hybrid. Now, if we talk about the difference between organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. So, we were discussing about the hybridizations. So there has been a long of list about the hybridizations. So, the technique which mainly apply to the product of alloplasmic line, which are potential interest because cytoplasmic factors mainly chloroplast mitochondria affect the trait with agronomic value. The chloroplast genome, for example, can affect plant photosynthetic and herbicide resistance, while mitochondria genome play key role in cytoplasmic immune stability. Hybridization is a potential source of genetic variability for the breeding problem. However, the practical value of hybrid was disregarded for many years because many horticultural important traits related to the genomic organisms had not well understood. It is currently known that CMS, which causes seedlessness, is controlled by the mitochondrial genome and was identified in Satsuma. Some citrus hybrid are presented in the table. So you can, I can quote example of some cytoplasmic hybrid like Valencia sweet orange and Familia lugana. These are produced by the so somatic hybridizations. Now, difference between these two organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. Organogenesis is production of unipolar structure. Production of unipolar structure like sugar and root kind of vascular system is connected to the parental tissue. Organogenesis is a property of somatic tissue. Organ is a popular process. Somatic embryo is a production of bipolar structure, while organogenesis is a unipolar structure, like shoot and root primordial. Root and shoot primordial. Somatic embryogenesis production of bipolar structure, shoot and root apaxis. Organogenesis is a vascular system which is connected to the parental tissue. So vascular system that always keep connected to the parental tissue. While somatic embryogenesis, vascular system is not connected to the parental tissue. It is not connected to parental tissue. Organogenesis is the property of somatic tissue because in the case of somatic tissue we are developing a particular organ. So either direct organogenesis and indirect organogenesis. Okay. So in case of organogenesis, we are trying to regenerate a particular organ like root and shoot in aseptic culture media. So direct in the organogenesis and direct organogenesis. In case of direct organogenesis, so the explant directly it will regenerate the particular organ. That is again depend on the requirement and the media compositions. While in case of indirect organogenesis, first the explant will generate the callus, which is differentiated into the callus, and callus will regenerate the desired shell organelles. While the somatic embryogenesis is pertaining to the reproductive tissue, but because the explant is directly regenerating into the somatic, the embryo will later on will regenerate into the complete plant. Organogenesis is a popular process, somewhat as compared to somatic embryogenesis. But somatic embryogenesis is relatively less popular because in this case the explant is very uh, explant is directly converted to the somatic embryo. Then somatic embryo has the setup of to regenerate the complete cartilage structure. Complete cartilage structure. So that is the main. So this is all about the organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. Thank you. Thank you once again to listen me. Thank you.